Crunch Nation, do you want a chance to win a Michael Vick golden ticket on Xbox only, or have the chance to win any card on Xbox 300,000 coins or less? Check out both of our giveaways going on right now. There's a Guess Who that we did just the other day. That's where you can get the 300,000 coins or less. Check out Twitter. On the Crunch Nation Twitter, we're giving away a Michael Vick. We did change it up. We're going to give you guys till Friday. We've getting a ton of support on that, and everything's been going really well. So we changed it up. We dropped it to only 100 retweets to still do the giveaway. And we're giving you guys until Friday to get that done. Right now it's out about 73, so we only need a little bit more to get there. So jump on Twitter and, you know, come support the team and let us give you guys a bunch of cards. What's going on, Crunch Nation? It's KJ here, coming back at you guys with another YouTube video. Coming in today to answer the question that everybody's asking. Obviously, you see other people posting what they think. I'm just going to jump in and give you guys my opinion on it. The biggest question of the week, because of Friday, is which golden ticket do we choose? As you can see, there are 21 available golden tickets at the time. There will be 3 more coming out. I'm not going to rank those because we do not know what they look like. So there's no way to really tell how they're going to play or anything like that. Granted, a lot of these could be different on your board and could be different on other people's boards than mine. This is just going to be my opinion and how I feel with the way that I play and the way that I've seen these cards be used and the abilities and different things that they can get. This is my ranking. So we're basically going to start with the one, and some of this is going to be based on price too, because you don't want to go and get a free golden ticket of a card that's super cheap. You obviously want to get one that you wouldn't be able to get the coins to go and get. Now granted, don't get me wrong, if you just want a specific player, obviously that's the one you're going to pick, no matter how much it is coin wise or anything like that. But just based on the question, which is the best one to choose, that's what we're going to go with today. So looking at that, my number one that we would not pick, this would be number 21 on my list, would obviously be Keith Bullock. When you look at his stats, yeah, they're pretty good. They're not golden ticket worthy. I mean, he has good speed coming off the edge. He's got good tackle, play rec, block shed. But that's about it. Finesse move, power move, garbage. He's not worth a golden ticket. And the fact that he's 225K, he's definitely not worth a free golden ticket. He's somebody you could easily go and get, but you could easily get somebody like Clowney or Lawrence Taylor, who's 10 times better than him anyway. So why waste it there? Why do that? It makes no sense. So the next one that I would do would be next on my list that I wouldn't get, obviously, because we're starting from the bottom, we'll go all the way up to the top, is going to be actually Cravon LeBlanc. He's decent, got decent speed, good man coverage, good zone, good press. But at the same time, you can get that out of tons of corners right now. I have corners on my team that have better stats than this, you know, and play a lot better than I believe he would. I've seen people use him, and it really wasn't anything spectacular. If you are going to get a golden ticket, you want a game changer. You want somebody that's going to change your team. He's not really that guy. You know, I've got Woodson plays better, Byron Jones, who can get any theme team. You got, Night Train Lane, who can get any theme team right now. You got Deion Sanders. All these players who will play better than this card or just as good as this card would. So it's really not worth your time. It's not worth you doing it. And if you really want him, he's only 400 and some K, so it's really not that big of a jump to go and grab him. The next one on our list is going to be Mohamed Sanu. Out of all the quarterbacks, I feel like he's the worst one. I mean, he's got good speed, don't get me wrong. He's got all the thresholds, which basically all of them are going to hit. I just don't, he's just not built as well as I think he should be, and realistically, he's not going to change your team enough. And there's plenty of quarterbacks out there right now that are cheaper that you could get and have the same result. So he, not really worth it. Now these first like 10 or so, we're just going to kind of fly through. as quickly as I possibly can, because we're going to get to the main meat of it. I'm just kind of showing you guys my list in the order right now. So the next one on my list is going to be this man right here, Reggie White. His stats look like he should be amazing, but I've seen tons of people, and I watched tons of gameplay on people using him, and he really didn't show up. He was kind of like a ghost. Like, he didn't make a ton of sacks. He didn't get in the backfield and blow up a bunch of runs. He was just like a regular, everyday defensive lineman. I get more in my games out of Aaron Donald than I see people get out of Reggie White. If you ability him up, he'll make a little bit of ruckus, but nothing noteworthy, nothing crazy. So jumping to the next one on the list is going to be Mike Evans. He looks like he would be a pretty good card. Speed's good, jumping's amazing, play rec, man coverage, zone coverage, press. His length and height is really good, but he's not going to change your team. Would he be a cool card to play with? Yeah. He'd be fun to play with. It'd be something different, and he'd probably get out there and make some plays and stuff. And granted, with him being an actual receiver, you're gonna get the higher catching with 90 catching almost, and everything like that. But his tackling is decent at 85. I'm sure his block shed is decent and everything like that. Impact blocking looks good. Block shed's decent. But he's not going to change the game. Like I said with the last corner, there's plenty of corners out there that will do the exact same thing, and you don't have to spend $500K on him. So he would be the next one on my list. The next one after that would be Mr. Where did he go? I'll go by position so that it'll be easier to find him. Is going to be Mr. Trey Edmonds. There's plenty of running backs. Hundreds of them, and he doesn't get human joystick, which is one big fault of his. But realistically, the running back that I use still and runs great, and I haven't been able to find a running back that I like better. Even trying to use Walter Payton, I tried him for a little while. I didn't really like him. Just didn't make as many plays. I use Eric Dickerson. He doesn't even have human joystick, but he just runs so well for me that I can't take him off the team. So, with them being dime a dozen and him being as expensive as he is, it's definitely not worth it, especially if he doesn't get human joystick. Same thing, with Adrian Peterson. He was my next one on the board, actually. Same thing with him. 540K, got good speed, good truck, and everything like that, but he also can't get human joystick. So that just takes away from his value, and the fact that he's so expensive and he's basically the same as any other card you could use, is really not worth it either. And then we're going to jump into another quarterback. So let me switch up. And the next quarterback on my list is going to be Cam Newton. His price point's a little bit higher than Sanu. Of course, the auction ends while I'm looking at him, so we'll go to a different one. His speed's not as good. All his throwing stats are basically, they're all going to be the same. As high as you see these throwing stats, it does not matter. If you beat the thresholds in Madden, that's all that matters. So once it's over the threshold, does not matter how much higher over the threshold it is. He's over the threshold. He's going to make the same throws as anybody else. The only difference with him is he has a super annoying animation. When he does audibles and everything else, it's really annoying and it takes a really long time. So, and for me, I don't really like his throwing motion, on top of the fact that his animation's annoying and he costs too much and everything like that. Because for this price, just for the card, now I get you got to go through powering up other cards and stuff, so that value's in. But the actual base price of, most of the other higher overall quarterbacks right now are around this price, and they'll play just as good, but they'll be faster. I mean, Michael Vick, even if you didn't get the golden ticket, you got the regular Michael Vick, will play better than this card, or exactly the same, but be faster and have human joystick and everything else. So it's just not, he's just not worth it to me, at least. So my next one that seems to be a little bit up higher on the list than I would think most people would put him is Kelvin Benjamin. He's going to be sitting at number 13 for me. which is kind of funny because that's my favorite number, but he is definitely not my favorite golden ticket. But he is 93 speed is his only fault. He's slow. He's a little slow. But I've seen people use him, and he catches a lot of balls and plays pretty well. His blocking is pretty good. I mean, he's a good receiver that you don't have to ability, and he plays pretty well. So I've liked the gameplay I've seen from him. The only downfall is that he is pricier than you would want him to be. Because there's plenty of other receivers that you could use. Moss, you could use, Torrey Holt. There's a ton of them that you could use instead and get the same result, but maybe even get a little bit more speed out of, which is great. But in terms of these golden tickets, I would place him at 13. I feel like he's a solid card. If he had a little bit more speed, he'd be higher up, closer to where Julio is on the list. So my next one is going to be one that I just have no use for, but he is pretty good. Gentry, fast, one of the fastest tight ends, in the game. His catching traffic, spec catch, all that stuff is really, really good. So he's going to catch balls. If you X factor him up, he'll be a deadly tight end. He really will. His run block's still pretty high, getting close to 80. It's not as high as, Delaney Walker or Kittle or anything like that. But his stats are a lot higher. His catching stats and everything are a lot higher. So he's going to get a lot better animations, a lot better catching. I just have no need for that with my tight ends. I don't use them enough in mine. Mine are basically run blockers, and then for little short routes or maybe some corners, stuff like that, I don't use my tight ends really, really heavily. So for me, it's just not worth it. But he is a good card, which is why I put him up at 12. So my next one is going to be another quarterback. So let's go take a look at him. Alright, let's see if we can find him on the block. Is RG3. Now I put him lower because out of the quarterbacks that I like on this list, he's too expensive for the lack of what you get from him. Now granted, he's got good speed, good throw power, he meets all the thresholds and everything. But I do believe, I could be wrong, but I do believe he does not get human joystick, which is another reason that I placed him lower on the list. And I just, between him and Josh Allen, who is actually number 10 for me, so this is 11 and 10, is RG3 and then Josh Allen. I don't really like either one. If you really don't run with your quarterback, you don't mind sitting in the pocket and dotting people up, or you don't ever really scramble out and try to take off with the quarterback, these are great options. They can get out of the pocket easily. They have enough speed to get out of the pocket, make those corner throws that all the meta does. They can get out of the pocket and make the throws across the middle and everything like that. They can do it. They're functional. They're going to be good. They're going to make good throws. But for me, I like to be able to take off if you give me the option. Like if there is an option or a hole, I will go and I'll jet down the field. So for my game type, Josh Allen and RG3 really aren't, the best ones for me. So that's why I have them 11 and 10. Now number 9, this is where I'm going to start getting into like actual playmakers. So for my list, like I said, it's going to be people that I feel like are going to change your team. They're going to help you out. So mine may be quite a bit different than most people. So let's jump in. My next one is Mr. Burns right here. He has great speed, great block shed, great finesse move, and I'm pretty sure he's got good zone too, if I'm not mistaken. Let me jump in here. I'm pretty positive he has good zone too. So no, he's actually got average zone, so about 60 zone. But I did try him out, and he played pretty well for me in pass coverage and on the blitz and everything. Tried him out for just like 1 or 2 games just to see, but then I sold him. I like him. Him coming off the edge is deadly. If you put pass rush chems on him and everything, he'll play even better. But that speed coming off the edge, especially if you user him, is great. and I feel like it can really change your team. But don't get me wrong, you can get players a lot cheaper that play the exact same way. The speed is hard to come by though. The speed you're only going to get from the Jadeveon Clowneys, the Lawrence Taylors, people like that, Shazier, those guys, Deion Jones. Those are going to be your fast guys. So the speed is not as common, but the other stats, the way that he plays is, you can get it out of other players, so it's not really that crazy. But he's going to be number 9 for me. Number 8, coincidentally, is sitting right beside him, is Jalen Ramsey. I like his speed, the fact that you can 99 him out on speed and acceleration. His agility is a little low. Jumping's great, everything like that. I just like the way that I've seen him play. His tackle's really high. Everything he looked good. I've seen a lot of people use him. I've played against him a lot, and he's been really, really hard to play against. His stamina's high, so you don't run into any issues with that. His hit power is good at 84. He just plays really well. So from what I've seen from him, that's why I've got him this high. I really like how he plays. I've seen him play a lot unabilitied, and he really shuts down one side of the field. So if you can not put abilities on him and put those somewhere else, and he can just hold down his edge, that means a lot, especially when you're trying to keep somebody who runs a lot from running, and you really got to send that heat, and you want to keep them from running, and you got to trust that your corners and your safeties are really going to hold it down. So he's big on that for me. The next one for me, and a lot of people are going to be shocked that I've got him this low. So number 7 for me is going to be Bo Jackson. A lot of people would put him really high. He's an amazing running back, absolutely amazing. But the difference that I have in putting him high and putting him low is that, one, I just do so well with Eric Dickerson that my running back spot is basically locked down. I don't really have a need for a running back. And anyone that I've tried to use, because Walter Payton is very, very close to Bo Jackson's stats. Very, very close. And I did not do well with him. Even putting human joystick on him, everything, I just didn't do as well as I do with Dickerson. I don't know if it's just how I play, if it's my running style, I don't know. But for me, that's one of the fallbacks, is that I just run better with him and I don't really need a running back. And then on top of that, there's so many other running backs that could, work just as well and not be 1.3 million coins. So his amount of coins to his value to my team, and then the fact that there's so many other players that you could use that you could possibly do better and have relatively the same stats, I just don't see his value. But I do know that a lot of people use him. He's a really good card. So that's why I've got him at number 7, because I've seen some good stuff out of him just for me. It's not for my play style. The next one on the list, and when you get into 6 through 1, all these can be interchangeable. Absolutely interchangeable on anybody's list. They're all basically just as good as one another, but for my list, this is how I have them positioned, but other people could position them completely different and it be, basically just as valid, because my opinion isn't always the best one. So yeah, Julio Jones is going to be number 7 for me, or number 6, number 6 for me. His speed, everything, on top of all his catching stats, are absolutely insane. He has good spin, decent spin at least. I think it's like 80 something. He's got good juke move at 92, if I'm not mistaken. All of his catching stats are insane. His beat press is crazy. Break tackle, all of that's really, really good. I always miss these when I'm going by. So give me just a second to find that. Alright, so yeah. So juke move was 92, spin move 84. He doesn't meet the spin move threshold, but his juke and everything is really, really good. Next on the list is going to be another guy that I feel like really can change your defense, especially not having to ability him, and that is Calvin Johnson, free safety. Great speed, great zone coverage, great hit power, play rec's insane, tackles good. He is just a game changer. I mean, realistically, you've seen tons of people use him. He's an amazing user if you want to user him, but you don't have to. Realistically, the way that he plays is just that good that you don't even have to ability him. You can just leave him off to the side. He'll do his thing, lock down that whole side of the field. So for me, he's number 5. Now, this is number 4 for me. I am using him right now. I have some issues with him, which is why I have him ranked below the next one. So my next one on the list is going to be Lamar Jackson. Now, the reason I have him lower than Vick is for multiple reasons. One, I don't like how he throws the ball. His arm motion is annoying. It drives me nuts. Plus, I'm left-handed in real life, so it's more natural for me to play with a left-handed quarterback, which is why I like to use Vick more often. But I pulled Lamar, so I wanted to try him out. So I've really been trying to test him out in the weekend league, and I have to say I definitely like Vick a lot more. The only thing I can say about Lamar is I haven't had a whole lot of fumbles with him, which is nice. You know, I've broken out of the pocket, I've made a lot of runs and everything like that, and haven't really had any issues in terms of him fumbling where he shouldn't have fumbled. Now, obviously, if I'm running down the field and I just run into a pile of people, he's going to fumble the ball. But I haven't had all the issues other people have talked about with him fumbling from getting sacked and stuff like that. I haven't had those issues. So Lamar is too pricey for me, and the fact that I don't like the way that he throws the ball, that's why I've got him sitting at number 4. Number 3, obviously, like I said, is going to be Vick, because his price is just so much lower. As you can see, he's only $880K. You're going to get the same stats and everything out of him, but for me, I'm left-handed, he's left-handed. It is so much better for me just when I'm playing, because it's more natural for me to know where the ball's going to go and where his arm motion is going to come from and everything like that. Then on top of the fact that he doesn't have a weird throwing motion, the only downfall to Vick is he'll hit your lineman in the back of the head with the ball every once in a while. I mean, he is going to throw it a little bit lower, a little bit harder, more on the line. I just don't like the goofy, weird throw that Lamar does, because it's like side-armed, and it kind of like, I don't know, I just don't like it. So Vick's definitely better for me. So probably by the time that y'all see finished product of my team, I will have sold Lamar and picked up Vick to use for myself. But we're getting down to the meat and potatoes of the 2 players that I definitely am going to have on my team. One I already have. The other one I'm getting as my free golden ticket. So my free golden ticket that I'm going to get, because of his price and because I want him on my team, is going to be Taylor May. So he's sitting at number 2 for me. His stats are insane. His stats compared to the one I already have are not that much different, except the block shed. The block shed is the big key to this one. Other than that, they're relatively going to play the same, but Mace plays like a freaking monster for me already anyway. He plays like a goon. I absolutely love having him on the field. I user him sometimes. He's an absolute beast. So I cannot wait to upgrade to this one on Friday when I get my free one. Now, number 1 for me, and the reason he's number 1, and you already know who he is because you know I've talked about every other one, is going to be Troy Polamalu. His price is still up at 1.1 mil, but this man is an absolute beast. He is a beast. He plays amazing. You're not going to get any faster at linebacker. I mean, he is just lightning on the field. He helps me stop runs better because I can break through the line a lot quicker. He, has great hit power. He's got great zone. I don't even have to user him. He plays amazing. But I have him abilitied up. I user him almost every play. I get tons of picks because I can get back to balls I normally wouldn't be able to get to. He just plays amazing for me. So number 1 on my list is absolutely Troy P. He is probably the best golden ticket to me that's out right now. I have had an absolute change in my defense from playing with him. My defense has always been really good. So to make it even better is amazing, which is why I have it this way. Like I said, from 6 up, it's interchangeable. You can change them out for whatever your play style is, because your play style is not going to be the same as mine. If you don't use your middle linebacker a lot, Troy P probably won't be your absolute favorite. If you use your safety, you may go with Calvin Johnson, you may go with Taylor Mays. If you're really big on running with the quarterback, heavy Panther, all that stuff, you'll probably use Vick, Lamar. Those would be your high ones. That's the ones you're going to want to go for. But realistically, at the end of the day, you want to go for ones, if you already have the golden tickets you want to go for the one that costs the most so that you can sell it and make your coins back. But if you want one to use, you want to pick one that's going to change your team. That's going to make a difference on every play. That's what you want. So for me, boys, that's going to be my ranking of these golden tickets. It's great that we all get to choose, which one we're going to pick. So that's really awesome that EA went through and did that. So, comment down below. Let me know if you would have changed a different rank for somebody where you feel like who you think is going to be the best. Who are you going to pick? Jump in the comment section. Let us know. We like to hear about it. We want to see what you guys are doing as well. Other than that, like, comment, subscribe, and we're out.